cultural and environmental sustainability?
Well, it happened to me tonight coming here, staying at the Hilton, and then coming through here. So we were driving along all these brightly lit. This is not contempt. This is just description. And then I came to a section before we got here that was dark, and then I began to recognize houses, and I said, okay, this is the Caribbean, this is Nassau, right? The poverty, even the particular warmth that the houses exuded, right? I recognized that. And I recognized it in the Dominican Republic, in Jamaica, in different places. It's not like, hooray for poverty. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, what we come from is this, right? What everybody else comes from is this. And it doesn't come from the lounges and lobbies of big hotels. But that's a threat to our, not independence, I don't want to use big words, I mean, to the fragility of our identity is in the contrast between the lavish lobby and the small house in the darkness with a little light somewhere. That's what I know. And that's what's real. I think we are totally threatened to a kind of mental, moral, intellectual extinction by tourism. Although I love what... Because I see, you see, the very pitons you're talking about, you saw from a point of view of a hotel, right?
I was in a little cottage.
Yes, well,
it was a hotel.
Part of a hotel.
Yeah.
And how do you look at what you see is the question. What do you see when you look, right? Every country depends on tourism. Nobody more than England. Shakespeare is tourism. You know, people go to England for Shakespeare, and it's a tourist not trap or trick, tourist reality. What is dangerous for us is how small we are, and scale, our imbalance of scale is crucial, right? Because one of the penalties of luxury is that you tend to feel small, made to feel small. That's one of the dangers, right? But you see, I think there's a way that can connect that. I think that the governments have got to provide more, you know, so that there's a little more hope than looking at a huge hotel in which really there's nothing active happening for the person there, intellectually anyway.
Your play, Drums and Colors...
That doesn't mean that I want to leave the hotel I'm in now. It's terrific.
Well, let me just ask a follow-up question there. I mean, is there a way for the Caribbean arts and culture to be sustained, encouraged, and still remain innovative and not sort of caricature, like, you know, limbo dancing and chewing glass or whatever, walking on glass? Is there a way for Caribbean culture to be sustained in some sort of relationship to tourism? Is it necessarily militating against what we do? Is it just a problem of scale?
The point about artists is that they're supposed to be economically stupid or inexperienced. If government, who have nothing to lose really, were a little more daring, they could make more money, right? They could use art as economics, right? Not the tourism element of art, right? Other things. The tourists come to the islands and they have nowhere to go, right? There's nothing to fulfill them in terms of identity or whatever an island represents or means. That's one aspect of things. But if there were more scholarships provided for artists here, they would come back because they want to be here. They want to paint their people, you know. They want to paint the landscapes, right? If that were recognized by simple, ordinary thinking government, they would realize that that's an economic exploitation.